What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the NarikChase channel. I'm your boy NarikChase, and in this extremely, late streamlined podcast, I just wanted to throw out some interesting ideas. We're going to be doing more videos. This is just going to be one of a couple we're going to do for these couple of days. So I hope you guys do enjoy it. But having said that, please be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what we got going on this channel. Yes, as I was saying, episode 105 of the Streamline Podcast, we have been around for a good minute. We're in season 3. That's awesome. 105 episodes. So we are getting there. We got a lot more got going on, guys. So having said all of that, let's go ahead and just jump into it. I have 4 very interesting topics to talk about that I was just really kind of captured me. Some I have a little bit more knowledge than others, but hey, we're going to go ahead and jump into this. First of all, let's go ahead and talk about what are the 4 subjects. Tomb Raider TV series being developed by Amazon. Frozen 3 is announced. We have the Netflix One Piece series. Want to give my thoughts on that, and a new Zorro comic series uh, coming. So let's go ahead and jump on this. Now, for those who do not know, I am a huge Tomb Raider fan. I have a couple of the original games. I have some of the later games, and I definitely have the reboot. I do like the original concept of Lara Croft, who is this badass woman that raids tombs. She's smart, she's fierce, she's intelligent, she's resourceful, she's sexy. Ultimately, one of the figureheads of badass females in video game history. And I did like the reboot version of the character. I thought it provided a good bit of depth for an origin style story, which she's a young girl coming to her own as she's overcoming all of these like very intense and crazy situations that's going on. So I did like that. Not I like the first game. I like the second game. The third game I wished could have been a bit better. I think they could have did a better job of linking her more towards the older version that we've seen in her initial release. But hey, they're supposed to be coming out with another game, but we'll talk about that another time. Now, Amazon is trying to do their thing with some of these television shows, and we can just say that there have been a couple of hits, there have been a couple of misses. Now, they're most uh, I'm not going to say them, but HBO's The Last of Us possibly is one of the starting points, because video game, there were comic book movies, there were movies, there were television shows and movies based on books. Then there were television shows and movies based on comics. Now it seems like we're going into this where people are focusing a bit more on video games. Now that's not to say that's a bad thing, because it really isn't. There are a lot of really good stories that can be told with video games. There have been a lot of duds, though. I'm not going to tell you. I'll tell you that specifically last year with, I don't know, Halo and Resident Evil. Those were very, very bad television shows, but they did have some good ones, such as um, Cyberpunk. That was an exceptionally really good one. I heard that the Sonic series was actually pretty good. I actually liked the movie as well. But going back towards Tomb Raider, now, Fleabag creator Phoebe Waller-Bridge is set to write a series based on the game, which I believe this is attached to Amazon. Now, Amazon again doesn't have the best record with some of the adaptations. Let's just look back at the Rings of Power and how such a big backlash due to the change in the lore, the performances, the story, the writing, and of course with all of this woke ideology that's actually been infecting uh the media and all of these in all of its different forms, like it was the freaking flood from Halo, which they did it to Halo too, ironically enough. But you know, with Tomb Raider is one of those. It represents the very thing that the wokeism I supposedly identifies with, but the way things are being just just run down everybody's throats just makes it. Now, me personally, I watched Fleabag. I actually liked Fleabag. I thought it was smart. I thought it was a bit raunchy. I thought it was clever, and I did like the humor of the show. I thought it was. I thought it had some good acting. I thought it had some good writing, but I really enjoyed the dialogue, and I really enjoyed the some of the dark humor that's in the show. Now I'm not sure what else Phoebe Waller Bridge has really done. I know she has had some influence with the upcoming Indiana Jones film. I believe she's actually playing one of the characters. I also know she had a role in Solo, a Star Wars story, and I know she done some movies, and I know she done a lot of TV projects, but I haven't really kept up with her filmography, so I don't know much about her. But there is a lot that's going on, saying that because of what's been, I guess, because of what her politics are, or some of the possible uh, I guess wokeology that she might potentially have could be a bad sign for Laura Croft. Now, a lot of people have said that Laura Croft has been kind of going downhill. I liked Angelina Jolie as the original Laura Croft. I did not like her. I used to like them, but I don't like them now because the movies themselves do not feel like Tomb Raider movies. But she embodies that character so well. And then Alicia Vikander, when the 2017 or the 2018 reboot came out, actually I felt she did a great job as the younger Laura Croft. So across both of those, I think for what they were going for, they did exceptionally well. And I personally do think that there is actually supposed to be a sequel. Oh, never mind. I thought there was going to be a sequel. There was supposedly supposed to be a sequel to the 2018 reboot, but I maybe not. I hadn't heard anything on it from the way this is going on. This series is actually what was derived from that potential sequel. So, me personally, I don't think a television series is actually bad. I think it's actually a really good idea. I think there's a lot of room for storytelling, for some good storytelling, and I think there's a lot of really good room for growth and being able to explore actual tunes, give us as audience to actually see what she's going through. But oh yes, I forgot she was in no. She did have a little bit what happened in No Time to Die. Now there's a thing with not in the James Bond film where people thought it was bad because there were elements of wokeism, and I can't really deny that. I don't think it affected the movie that much, but a lot of people have it said it is a bad movie attributed to the woke, and some of it because of Waller Bridges' influence into it. But having said that, I think this is could potentially be a good thing. Now, I have heard some interesting news that in this version of Laura Croft, in this supposed story, and I'm not saying this is what it actually is, but it's not going to be the Laura Croft that we know on either front. It's going to be another Laura Croft, and in this one, she's going to be a mentor, and this is how she's going to get in. And then the people that she's supposedly mentoring are going to help her uh find either dive into some ancient tomb or uncover some kind of conspiracy or something like that. Basically, it's not going to be the hey, I want to go to this tomb because I want to challenge myself. I want the thrill of a discovery that we've seen in the previous incarnations of the character. Is just going to be her mentoring, which to some extent I'm not like overly against, but because of the way that she's been presented so much in media as it is, it's kind of hard for us to have that build up. See, if you watch an Indiana Jones movie, if this Indiana Jones movie or part four should have been, you could see Indy actually mentoring someone because in the first three films he's had his adventures, and unfortunately, and that's already a good setup for him having basically passing of the torch, which is what this basically seems like it might be, a passing of the torch. But the problem with that is we haven't had anything leading up to that for her to have a television show up doing that. So if she had like if she had a couple of movies and then it came out a television show, if they had a couple of 2 or 3 seasons of her on these adventures, and then they had one season where she's older and she's a mentor, maybe then. But it could be something good. This could be something bad. Just and like I said, I'm not sure about Waller Bridge. Like I said, I like Fleabag. I didn't think I actually like No Time to Die, despite some of the woke stuff in it. Didn't really too much care for Bot character in Solo because this robot was woke and Solo was just a woke mess, to be honest. But anyways, I'm interested. I hope that they can pull this because this has potential. This is one of those series that I've always said, hey, it was a good movie. It was a decent movie, but it would have been either a better trilogy or a series of movies, and one overarching story, or at least a series, maybe a one season series. So this has the potential, and we'll definitely see where they go from there. Go to from there. Now, the next subject that I wanted to jump on about. Oops, looks like I did something crazy right now. Okay, we're going to be talking about Frozen 3 and my thoughts about that. Now, it's been announced that Frozen 3 is supposed to that they were going to be doing the Frozen 3, which look, I don't like Disney. I hate their politics, I hate their policies. I hate how they treat their workers. I hate what they've done with Marvel. I hate what they've done with Star Wars. I hate what they've done with what they're doing to Indiana Jones. I hate a lot of things about them. But I'm not gonna say that and a lot of their movies are garbage. A lot of them are filled with this woke garbage. But like I said, I heard that there was a Frozen 3, and I'm generally interested. Look, I liked the first Frozen, had its issues, but I thought it was a good movie. Okay, I like the soundtrack, I like the visuals, was a lot good. Now, honestly, the ending did feel rushed, but I haven't seen the second movie yet. I heard that it was relatively maybe not as good as the first one, but still a good and entertaining watch, which I need to actually get on to watching that. But if it's on Disney Plus, I mean, it's on Disney Plus, and I don't subscribe to Disney Plus because I don't like Disney. But if I had a chance, I would actually watch Frozen 2. But that doesn't stop me from being interested in a third film. I think it could be a good way to go to wrap up a good, really interesting story. I liked Elsa. I liked Anna. I like Hans. I do like the characters, especially from the first film. I'm not sure exactly what all happens in the second film, but apparently both of them actually grossed over $1 billion at the box office. So that's pretty cool. Um, but so far, we don't really have too much going on in terms of knowing what the story is going to be. We don't really know who the new character is going to be. Are there going to be any returning characters? Are there going to be other characters from other franchises? I mean, the second one, if Anna being uh, which I thought was actually pretty interesting because in the first film, Elsa decides she wants to be queen, but then Anna ends up taking over the reins in the second film. Uh, I said Hans, the dude. I don't know if the guy's name Hans, but his name is Christoph. So cool. Me, I'm actually. This is one thing that I want to see more of. I don't want to see. I don't want to see too much of character, more because in these types of films, the first film is them is usually a character coming out of their own, and then the sequel is them learning either more about discovering more about themselves or somebody or more self-discovery on somebody on another end. And usually the third would be some external force. And I hope that's the way that they go. I don't want it to be kind of like Mulan. Mulan was about self-discovery, but that was a pretty good threat. The second one's more about this relationship between the two. And yeah, well, there was a threat, but it wasn't as threatening as the threat in the first film, which is why I think there wasn't a third Mulan film, which it could have been. It's just that the writing doesn't do right with it. But having said that, I'm interested in Frozen 3. I want to see who they're going to introduce. Are they going to bring other characters? that they haven't. Um, I do know that there's going to be some woke stuff that's in it. It was always kind of teased in the first two films. I mean, the first film. Uh, so hopefully they don't really go down that trend. Hopefully it'd be dark. It's not like dark, but because think about Shrek. Shrek kind of did the same thing. It was the first film was pretty serious and dark, self-discovery. The second one was a bit more diving into the family dynamic, less dark, but still a good watch. And then the rest of the films just became more comical, more funny, and again less serious. Except for Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots was actually a pretty good one, which I'm actually interested to see the second one. But anyways, I'm interested to see what they're going to do with the Frozen 3. All right, jumping on to our third topic, Netflix. Not that they've announced um, the live action One Piece, but let's just see what they got going on about it. I'm on the fence about live action anime. A lot of their anime does not translate well over into live action. It doesn't, unless it's really, really grounded. Most of the time, it doesn't. A lot of it has to do because of the way characters are designed, the way characters move and act. It does not translate well. When they did the live action version, well, a live action version of Death Note, the casting was pretty bad. Even though the guy that's actually played L, I can't remember his name. I actually like him as an actor, terribly miscast. But even L's movements in the show, a normal person will not do. So even when you see him do it in the movie, it doesn't look well. Some of the fights, some of the action, some of the humor, just it's hard to pull it off. There have been some decent ones. I actually like the Bleach one. Bleach. I actually like the Full Metal Alchemist trilogy. I actually like that one. Could have been some things that did a bit better, but I thought as an adaptation, it worked out really well. Uh, the Attack on Titan was terrible. The Dragon Ball one, terrible. Just the anime just it's just hard to adapt it. I could kind of see. I'm interested to see if they could pull a Naruto, but because it is somewhat grounded, but I'm not sure how that'll work out. But anyway, just going back to One Piece. Now, One Piece is at this time and has held this title for some time now, the highest selling manga of all time. And with all of Dragon Ball, Naruto being some of the big players out there, One Piece tops them all. They've sold the most. What was it? Generating over $21 billion in revenue. The guy that made One Piece is on point. He's got multiple mangas, films, video games, and all other types of merchandise. So that's pretty cool. Now, in 2020, Netflix decided today we're going to announce a live action series of One Piece. And what does it say? I'm not Ochiro Ido, the man that created One Piece. He ended up what this says right here says, I know I announced the production of this back in 2017, but these things take time. Preparations have been slowly progressing behind the scenes, and it seems that I can finally make the big announcement. Netflix, the world's leading streaming entertainment service, will be lending us their tremendous production support. This is so encouraging. How far will the story progress? Over the 10 episodes of season one who will be cast. Please be patient a little longer and stay tuned. Now, that was from Ishiro Ito, the man that created One Piece. And a few days ago, they actually showed a poster, and really can't show it right here, but it's basically what you would see on the anime. You have Luffy looking at the sun. I don't know if it's rising or setting, which I think is rising, with his camera to the back, his back to the camera, and his fist in the air. So it does look pretty good. At least that shot does. And then the second one, which is actually the one that's more impressive, you get a shot of the Straw Hat Pirates facing their ship with their backs to the camera. I mean, it looks pretty cool. It's not, groundbreaking or anything, but it looks like a good shot. It actually does. Oh, so, don't you know what? I forgot the disaster that was Cowboy Bebop. I can't believe that the live action series could have been better, but a lot of that had to do with woke ideology too. But anyway, so I'm actually interested. I do like the shots. I mean, just one look at everything. I hate when they do the first look. It's always just one picture. It don't be like a set of like 20 to give us a better image of what we can expect. But it looks all right. If they can actually do it, and I think with the right people, that a live action One Piece can work. Like, I think it can work. But hopefully we'll see how this is going to go. Like I said, I like One Piece. One Piece is definitely one of my top 15 anime of all time. I think is really awesome. Great characters, great fights, and I hope that they can translate this. I'm interested about this too. If they're gonna do a One Piece, what time periods is going to pick up in? Because if they're going, like I said, it's 10 episodes, and One Piece is literally like 1,000 chapters at this point. I'm not even sure how many episodes, but 900 chapters or 900 episodes, or something like that. They got some really really high numbers, and I'm like, okay, I get that they're not going to jump, all the way to the end or anything like that, but how far are they going to go? Because we see all five of of the core crew, and in 10 episodes, that's like, how far are they going to go? Are they going to go to the crocodile arc? Are they going to go to the alabaster arc? Are they going to go, you know, when they reach the grand line? Like, where's the end game at, basically? How far? I would like for them to, I haven't come across, maybe they have said something about how far they're going to go in terms of the story, but I'm not sure. Who is behind Netflix's One Piece series? Stephen Maida is going to be the showrunner for One Piece. His long career has had him involved with titles like The X Files, Lost, Lie to Me, Healers, and Daybreak. I've seen some of the original X Files, and I have not seen any of the other stuff. The writing staff will include Diego Gutierrez, Matt Owens, Allison Wintraub, In Stokes, Lindsay Gelfand, Laura Jaquim, Jason Cho, Damani Johnson, and Tom Winman. Yeah, I don't know who any of these people are. Well, my interest, like I said, that's my thing. How are they going to tell a story? I got pictures of the ship. The ship actually looks pretty nice. I just want to know how they're going to. Are they going to start from the absolute beginning with with Luffy as a kid, all the way to everybody's finally together, uh, or you know what I'm saying, or like what arc? That's what's got me interested. Or is they going to do an adaptation of that? Because me personally, I don't really want to see a play-by-play of the anime. I have a problem with anime-based games because anime-based games do that. So, are they going to introduce some more elements to it? Are they going to take certain things out? I'm interested in what they're going to go with. And Netflix ain't the most reliable in terms of quality. A lot they do make some decent adaptations. I will give them that, but a lot of their stuff just be garbage because they put so much woke dogma and propaganda into it. So this is opportunity. They could possibly turn around the quote unquote anime curse. I mean, they had a video game curse, and they fixed that pretty much. So that the manga to live action, hopefully they can get something going with that. Now, for our final topic that we're going to be talking about, and I've got to admit, I don't know much about this writer. I've been getting more back into comics and stuff, and delving more into these comic book companies, reading manga, especially since these 3 months of books and stuff. I've been getting more and more into it. and into all of this stuff. So I'm still behind. But Sean Gordon Murphy, who wrote Tokyo Ghost, Punk Rock Jesus, and Batman White Knight. The Batman White Knight I was really interested in reading, but I haven't got a chance to it. Has licensed the masked adventurer Zorro and will become releasing his own take on the character. There isn't many details on it yet, and the title, from what it looks like, I'm reading comicbook.com, that the title is going to be Zorro Man of the Dead. Um, which is, I think that's actually a pretty interesting title. Zorro is one of those. It's an interesting character. Zorro is up there on par with the likes of like Sherlock Holmes. To me, he's a really interesting character. I do not see enough of him in the media. The last actual, you know, big moment for the character that I've seen was back in the 90s when they had the 1997, I believe it was, when The Mask of Zorro was released, and that was a freaking phenomenal movie. That to me has been the best adaptation of the character. But that's not saying much, considering I haven't seen much on the character after that. Yes, they had the sequel that went with it. The sequel was a bit more disappointing. If I would give The Mask of Zorro a 4 out of 5, the sequel would probably get a 3 out of 5. Of course, they had the older television series. I know there have been other creators that have done comics on the character, and there was supposed to be a television show. Yeah, it's supposed to be two of them. There are at least 2 TV takes on Zorro currently in development. A young woman led legacy sequel that was originally planned to air on the CW. I'm not sure if that's that. I'm quite sure that that's been canceled because the CW had just been, they got it bad. Not turning a profit, putting out all this dogma, woke trash. Everything's lovey-dovey and feelings and teenagers. Now, ain't nobody want look what they did to Supergirl. Look what they did to Flash. Look what they did to definitely Batwoman. Because look what they did to Naomi. Look at all of the potential that series that network had, and they just screwed it over. So, and the fact is, a young woman-led legacy sequel, that's a bit of a problem for me. Now, could there be like a female Zorro? Yes, but because of the CW's politics when it comes to season stuff, I cannot believe that they would have a female-led sequel that wasn't just woke crap. I can't believe that. And also, in a more traditional take on a character from that 70s show in Minority Report star Wilmer Vanderrama, which is set to air on Disney Plus. Now, I don't know much about I don't know nothing about whoever this person is. Wilmer Valderrama. I butchered it, but I don't like Disney, so I can't. It's gonna be hard for me to support the Zorro IP because it's on Disney. So that's kind of an issue for me. I would like for them to do a live action series and take it back. Give me 10 episodes, and like I said, I can honestly see them taking like possibly the first movie, and I'm not saying that movie particularly, but I can see Zorro making a comeback in the television scene. But there have been some other comics. Dynamite Entertainment had Zorro crossover with the Lone Ranger, which that seems like a very interesting, very idea. I want to go back and read it now. Okay, yeah, Mr. Murphy is concept art. I mean, it looks cool. It looks cool, but like I said, I think it's interesting for Zorro. I think like I said, I didn't get into Zorro because he's one of my favorite, I guess you could say, characters next to like Sherlock Holmes and stuff like that. But anyways, I'm interested to see what Mr. Gordon is, Mr. Murphy is going to do with the character. I'm to actually go back and possibly try to find, Punk Rock Jesus, Tokyo Ghost, and definitely that Batman White Knight to see what his writing style is, art style, get a feel for what he can potentially bring to the character. So, anyways, guys, let me know what you think about the topics. Do you think Amazon has any right to be trying to do a Tomb Raider television series, especially given what they've done with the Rings of Power? What about Frozen 3? Do you think Frozen deserves a third film? One Piece live action. Definitely want to hear your take on what you want to see from it and what you do worry about it. And of course, if you're a fan of Sean Gordon Murphy, do you think he can do well with the Zorro IP and make it his own? Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit that like, that notification button to get the best of what we got going on this channel, and we'll definitely catch you guys later.